Hello, everyone. It's week 4 of Google Cloud Next on Air Casablanca's extended podcast, which means we're focusing on security. My name is Abdurrahman Faiz.
And I'm Maryam Naim, and welcome to This Week in the Cloud, where, uh, where we are taking a sneak peek at this week content.
Week 4 is all about security, meaning we want to help you achieve your security goals while prioritizing operational simplicity and keeping costs down. So we've got sessions on everything from data protection to compliance policies to managing sensitive data. If you tune in to the on-demand recordings, you can also hear directly from other Google Cloud customers sharing their own security experiences.
One of the best parts of attending a conference is learning the clever and sneaky tips from some of the best people who actually created the products. That is why there is an advanced IAM session, so compelling because authentication and policy management are constant. So a deep dive into advanced control sounds like a great way to avoid future policy change conflicts.
My pick for the week is getting started with Beyond Corp because I really like it when we can share the tools that Google is actually running on. That's the Google Cloud Origin story after all. And there is a session that introduces the Beyond Corp security model and how you can shift security protections from a physical perimeter, like say your office building, to individual accounts and devices. Allow your employee to work remotely without a VPN, which may be particularly useful to you in this nonsense of a year.
Uh, True. Finally, if you are looking to hone your skills, be sure to check out Cloud Study Jam, where you can join other attendees for guided hand-on labs. There were several options this week, including HTTP load balancer with Cloud Armor and user authentication, and also identity-aware proxy. Be sure to register for a study jam to learn from an expert. And also make sure to add this session to your digital playlist. Any thorough ideas? Leave us a comment or tweet us using the hashtag Google Cloud Next and also hashtag GTG Casablanca. We will see you in the cloud.
When you think of cloud security, what are your top priorities? That's what we're talking about this week on Google Cloud Next 20 on Air Casablanca Extended Podcast. I'm Abdurrahman again.
And I'm Marina. We understand the need for superhero strength from the cloud. A cloud you can count on to protect and defend your critical assets, and scale and innovate with you. Actually, a superhero of mine, one of the fathers of Internet and Google VP and Chief of Internet Evangelist, Vint Cerf, did share his insights on cloud security with Confidential Computing this week.
Actually, make sure to check Confidential Computing. It is at the heart of this week's solution keynote, a better, safer, normal, led by the VP and the GM of security, Sonil Poti. And then make time for sessions like the next frontier in data protection. Also, take control of security with Cloud Security Command Center and building trust through customer collaboration.
And check out Customer Perspectives Navigating Change. You will hear candid insight from executives who share how they approach unique challenges in their respective industries.
And be sure to rate each podcast so we know how we're doing. Next week, uh, Google Cloud engineering leaders will share a compelling vision of what's next in their smart analytics platform and demonstrate their newest solution innovation. New team podcast content drops every Sunday, and remember, everything we've done is always available on our social platform.
Then, can you tell us what you think? Join the conversation on social media using hashtag Google Cloud Next and hashtag GDG Casablanca and come connect with us, engage with us. Discover with us Google Cloud Next on Air Casablanca Extended.
Hello, everyone, and welcome.
First of all, thank you for taking the time today. Really appreciate you taking some time away from potentially what you're doing at home, especially in this interesting time. I hope that you are all feeling safe and staying engaged, both at work, at home, and at home. We have, because we have entered these first few weeks months of dealing with COVID. Many organizations expected a slowdown in their digital strategies.
In many cases, if not the majority, we actually saw the opposite. That is, most customers accelerate their use of cloud-based services. It turns out that the more things change, and in some cases, in the case of the post-COVID, you've got to manage a new normal with distributed workforce, new digital strategies. Many companies now transition into online. Essentially, new market models emerging. There are actual real opportunities to actually bring forward what would have been transformation that would have taken many years to now become many weeks.
And so that's really what they at Google Cloud have generally embraced. And in case of security, they have really accelerated because they believe that in the new normal, as we say, they can actually create a better normal from these times. They started by doing that across a few dimensions in a couple of ways. So if you think about it, the most important thing, at least in security, is is to kind of do the two things.
One is to increase your safety posture, especially in this new distributed environment, but at the same time reduce the complexity if they can. And if they can do both of them at the same time, then we have a game-changing capability to embrace the new normal, but in a safer way. So let us talk about these things in more details.
Yes, actually protecting your users, your data, your application while staying compliant, as well as we know, is challenging in the best of the time. And now during these times of crisis and change, it is obviously became way more difficult. Fortunately, they got some really unique, powerful capabilities to simplify your security operation. To start with, for example, the variety of tools that they can currently have powering much of Google is now being manifested as enterprise consumable products, both on GCP as well as modernized security in your data center and also in the cloud.
One of the most popular tools that they currently have on their platform is the Security Command Center, SEC, which is the native security posture management system which prevents and detects abuse of your cloud resources. It centralizes security findings from GCP services, of course, and partner services and detects common misconfigs that can lead to breaches. What they have now done is add a whole slew of new capabilities in the ACC Premium, of course, which can spot threats using the Google Intelligence for events and GCP logs and containers, which is just another example of bringing core Google IP to the enterprise customers where they are.
And it is also help surface a much larger set of misconfig and perform automated compliance scanning and reporting. So in short, SES is a single pane of glass to understand the rest of GCP. Verify that you are configured your resource properly and safely documented for anyone who asks. They also have two new products that give you powerful new capabilities while keeping deployment and management simple.
The first one is assured workloads, which is essentially a set of controls for customers in regulated industries where you can now configure and deploy sensitive workloads according to your security and compliance. But just in a few clicks, assured workload isn't a separate cloud instance with limited functionality that runs months behind on getting new features. It actually is a software-driven approach that leverages the power of the one Google Futures. It actually is uh, a software-driven approach, but removes the trade-off between regulatory compliances in the cloud and having the latest capabilities in your cloud. So it's essentially compliance made consistent and simple. And this second dimension is what they're calling as confidential computing.
That's right. In 1971, email showed up as an advanced research project agency network project. It opened up new possibilities like mailing lists like science fiction lovers and maybe like Yum Yum for restaurants review were created also. Spam followed not very long after when someone from Digital Equipment Corporation sent out a job posting. Although at the time, emails was only used by governments and academics, everyone knew it was only a matter of time before organizations saw the infinite possibilities the email would open up.
There are few moments in life when new technologies emerge that can fundamentally change how the future is going to unfold. At Google, they believe the future of the cloud computing will increasingly shift to private encrypted services, where users can be confident that their data is not being exposed to cloud providers or their own insiders at the same time. This is the future we want to help bring about, and confidential computing makes it possible.
When organizations are ready to move their workload to the cloud, one of the biggest challenges is how to process sensitive data while still keeping it private. Google Cloud encrypts all data in transit between their users and their data centers, as well as the rest. So by default. But however, when data is being processed, there's no easy solution to keep it encrypted.
They believe that customers shouldn't have to choose between usability, performance, and confidentiality. To complement their encryption in transit and at rest, they will now offer the ability to encrypt data in the use while it's being processed. And you can enable this in just few clicks. This is called confidential computing. And the first product in their confidential computing portfolio, Confidential Virtual Machine, is now in a beta for you to try.
Confidential computing environments keeps data encrypted in a memory that and elsewhere outside the CPU. Data is encrypted within the CPU boundaries by memory controllers using embedded hardware key that Google doesn't have access to.
And with these confidential virtual machines, this level of confidentiality can be achieved without the new to make any without the need to make any changes to your application. Of course, with Google Cloud, they have already a variety of isolation and sandboxing techniques that makes their multi-tenant architecture secure.
Confidential VMAs take this to the next level by using memory encrypted to further isolate workload and tenant from each other and from the cloud infrastructures. The goal is to ensure that capabilities are agnostic to the hardware they use.
In addition to supporting AMD CPUs, they are planning to work on other CPU vendors and extend support to GPUs, GPUs, and FIGPs. In parallel, they helped create the Confidential Computing Consortium to engage with stakeholders and work toward more transparent and interoperable services.
With confidential computing, they can unlock computer scenarios which previously have not been possible at all. Imagine being able to share confidential data sets and collaborate on research in the cloud, all while preserving privacy. This is great. And also, imagine being able to develop vaccines, which we need more now, more quickly, and cure diseases as a result of this secure collaboration. transformational technology solve problems that make our lives so much better.
Confidential computing can be a catalyst to transform the way organizations process in data in the cloud. We can't wait to see the possibilities this technology will enable for your organizations. This is a game changer, just like the advent of email was 15 years back. And yes, you heard it here at first at the GDG Casablanca's podcast. And with that, we conclude this second part of this online podcast. See you in the recap.
The financial services industry is rapidly transforming with the advance of new digital and cloud technologies such as data analytics and AI. Banks are using cloud technologies to provide better customer service, reduce risk, and increase employee collaboration. That's why we are thrilled to announce Google Cloud's strategic partnership with Deutsche Bank. Working together, we'll be solving key challenges for customers and the industry at large.
We always said last year in the restructuring of Deutsche Bank that technology is a key part of the way ahead of Deutsche Bank, next to the focus on clients, next obviously on focus on people and leadership. But technology will define the future of banking.
Our engineers will collaborate to modernize Deutsche Bank's core technology infrastructure, create new digital solutions to better connect with clients, build sophisticated tools for fraud prevention and risk management, and harness Google Cloud technologies to build new financial products and services.
The partnership with Google is a transformational one. On the one hand, it will clearly give us opportunities to increase cost synergies, be even more efficient, but far more important, it will actually give us the opportunity to go for new products, to go for new solutions, and to be even better at clients and thus increasing revenues. And with the experience over the last 6 months, how we work together, we have another chance. And that is not only transforming technology, but actually attracting the best talent.
Deutsche Bank is an industry pioneer with a long history of innovation in financial services. We are excited about this strategic partnership, and we are eager to get started.
We are super excited with the work we have started with Google. We know it's the right journey, and we are absolutely convinced that we will be both successful.
We're in week 4 of our special 9-week digital online podcast event. We named it Google Cloud Next 20 On Air Casablanca Extended Podcast. Again, my name is Abdurrahman.
And I'm Maryam Naeem with this week highlights of 5 must-watch sessions. This week's solution keynote, A Better, Safer, Normal, is a timely security topics with unique insight from Vince Cerf and Sunil Poti.
Pave your path to certification in the Study Jam presented on August 5th.
Professional Cloud Security Engineer and Professional Cloud Network Engineer certification.
Want to help protect your enterprise workload from threats?
Then learn how to create shielded VMS. This is Don't Miss Demo, Confidential Computing in Google Cloud.
Looking to boost your career? Then check out this EDA session, How Certification Impacted My Career. To hear how to take care of the next level, catch another new breakout session, Mission Possible, moving your most sensitive data to GCP. Remember to sign up for one-on-one sessions with Google Cloud experts and get help that aligns with the weekly session topic.
Book now to lock in your time. New Google Cloud content drops on August 16 at 10 a.m. Moroccan time, 10 p.m. Moroccan time. And we'll be talking about one of my favorite topics, data analytics. Until then, keep the conversation going on social media and make sure to use our hashtag Google Cloud Next and hashtag GDG Casablanca. See you next time. Have a great week.